So you've been playing The Witcher, and you're desperate to scratch that alchemy itch, but your D&D group is calling you away from the computer and towards the table. With our alchemy and herbalism rule sets, you can scratch that alchemy itch while playing D&D. If you've been reading up on our crafting and cultivation rule sets, or if you've watched our video about it, then you already know how to expend cultivation checks to gather herbs. Now that you've finally built up a nice little stockpile of herbs, it's finally time to start brewing potions. How does it work? It's actually really simple. Once you've gathered the herbs you need, take a look at the alchemy crafting table and choose which potion you want to make. As an optional rule, your DM can decide that you need to unlock individual alchemical recipes either by purchasing them or by experimenting with herbs in order to discover them yourself. If this rule appeals to you, recipe market values have been included in the alchemy table. Once you've chosen what potion you want to make, assuming you know the recipe, you need to decide which rarity you would like the potion to be. The greater the rarity, the greater the potency. Potion effects will be more powerful with higher rarity potions, but so will their toxicity level. We'll explain toxicity later. All potion rarities have a level requisite, meaning you need to gain certain levels before you can brew high-level potions. Brewing uncommon or green potions, for example, requires you to be 3rd level. Rare or blue potions require you to be 5th level, and very rare or purple potions require you to be 11th level. Depending on the rarity of the potion you're attempting to craft, you will need a different type of alchemical base. Common or white potions only need water, which is free. Uncommon or green potions require oil, rare blue potions require wine, and very rare purple potions require spirits. Since you can't really go foraging in the woods for alcohol, unless your setting has some kind of booze tree we don't know about, you'll usually have to buy most of your alchemical bases. All of their market values are included in the alchemy table, as are the market values for most types of herbs and potions. In addition to potent alchemical bases, high-quality potions will also require you to gather special herbs that intensify your brewing process. These herbs, namely Azure Lotus and Violet Lotus, can be harvested in the wild or purchased from merchants. The price of these herbs is included in the alchemy table. If you would like to gather these herbs instead, you'll have to expend some cultivation checks in order to do so. To determine the DC of gathering these herbs, take a look at our website for our rules in crafting and cultivation, or take a look at our video on rare resources. Unlike armorsmithing or weaponsmithing, alchemy does not require the use of cultivation checks in order for you to brew potions. If you have the materials you need to make a potion, you can do it anytime you want. But please don't try to brew a potion while you're in a fight. Don't be the guy who gets swallowed by a giant worm and then attempts to use his action to brew a potion. You're better than that. Every time you try to brew a potion, you'll roll a relevant skill check, like survival, nature, or proficiency with alchemist tools, to attempt to brew the potion successfully. The DC of each potion is listed in the alchemy table and varies with rarity. If you succeed in this crafting check, congratulations, you've made a potion. Traditionally, it takes an action to drink a potion, but let's be real, that's no fun. You want to use your action to attack things, cast spells, or twiddle your thumbs while you're being digested by a giant monster. It's for this reason that we recommend allowing the player to drink a potion as an action or a bonus action, their choice. Once you drink a potion, you gain its effects, but you also gain toxicity based on its potency. What is toxicity? Toxicity is a measure of how many potions you can stomach before you start feeling ill. Your toxicity threshold is equal to 3 plus your constitution modifier. You can safely drink potions until the combined toxicity of the potions you drink exceeds your toxicity threshold. Common, white potions have no toxicity value. Uncommon, green potions have 1 toxicity, rare, blue potions have 2 toxicity, and very rare, purple potions have 3 toxicity. If you drink potions until you exceed your toxicity threshold, you suffer poison damage at the start of each of your turns based on how far you have exceeded your toxicity threshold. While toxic, subtract your current toxicity from your toxicity threshold. Multiply the result by your proficiency bonus. That is the amount of damage you take at the start of each of your turns while toxic. Your toxicity resets after a short or long rest, so you'll want to manage your potion intake pretty carefully unless you want to end up greener than an orc. With potion crafting, you can embrace your inner alchemist and give yourself and your allies much needed buffs both in and outside of combat. Alchemy is an easy to learn and invaluable skill for just about any party, so it's a good idea to keep at least one with you when possible. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Dungeon Creep.